Hey guys, welcome back. So, I don't know about you, but I love a good chicken sandwich. So, today I have a treat for you. I'm going to show you how to make yourself your own chicken sandwich straight from your own home. This is my recipe for crispy chicken BLT. So, I've been to several restaurants and establishments that do pretty decent chicken sandwich, a crispy chicken sandwich, that is. And there's also the fast food options. I mean, you have Wendy's, you have Chick-fil-A, what's the other one? Oh yeah, Popeyes. All really good and they have their own version of how they do it. I wanted to share with you my version of how to do it. I'm really looking forward to sharing with you. Let's get started. Okay, to begin with, we have our chicken. I have two boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and what we want to do is get these into even thickness. So we're going to start by cutting them in half along sides. Okay, so we've sliced up our chicken. As you see, I've added 2 layers of plastic wrap down, and all we're going to do now is pound the chicken cutlets into even thickness. If you don't have a meat mouth, then use a heavy bottom pan. Either will work. So. Alright, chicken's all nice and cut up. We're going to turn our attention to our marinade. So to a bowl, we're going to add a 1.5 cups of buttermilk. And to that, we're going to be adding a tablespoon of hot sauce, followed by a teaspoon each of salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. Just give that a mix. Next, we're going to go and add our chicken into that marinade. Okay, now we're just going to set this aside in the fridge for about 2 hours to let it marinate, and then we'll come back to it. Alright, as I said, we're doing a crispy BLT, so we need the bacon, but we're doing something special with the bacon. We are making candied bacon. Huh? To make our candied bacon, it's actually really simple. I'm taking a 1/2 cup of light brown sugar. To that, adding some freshly ground pepper. And give that a mix. Okay, so we have our bacon on a sheet pan, and it's very important that you use thick cut bacon for this. So all we're going to do is lightly sprinkle on our brown sugar and pepper mix. You don't want to use too much. Alright, so we have our bacon all candied up there. We're just going to throw this into a preheated 375-degree oven and let it bake for about 30 minutes. And our candied bacon has finished cooking. We're just going to let it rest. But it's looking beautiful and smelling amazing. Okay, now we have the dry batter part of our chicken. I have here 1.5 cups of flour. To that, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And then I'm going to add the following spices. I'm using 2 teaspoons of salt, a teaspoon of pepper, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, and a teaspoon of paprika. Alright, so chicken's finished marinating. All we're going to do now is take each chicken cutlet and dip it into the flour mixture. Alright, we'll set these aside and get our oil ready for frying. Okay, we have our oil heating. We want to get it to 350 degrees and then we'll add the chicken. Dip it one more time in the flour. And we'll let that fry for about 6 minutes. And that's how our chicken is looking after fried. We're just going to let it sit for a bit. Alright, it's time to put this sandwich together. Start with a layer of lettuce, followed by a couple tomatoes. Layer on our candied bacon. And then finally, our nicely crispy chicken. And that, my friends, is how you make a crispy chicken BLT. I hope you give this a try, and I will see you next time.